Okay, this video will take a look at how to get started with NotebookLM. NotebookLM is an AI platform that is created by Google. If you do just a quick Google search for NotebookLM, all one, no spaces, all one word, it'll then it'll then take you to it. It's not yet part of the your waffle in your Google Suite for Education account yet, but if you just do a quick search for it, it'll come up and you can easily access it. So NotebookLM creates things that they call notebooks. So if I was to sit here and create new, what's going to allow me to do is that I can for each notebook I can provide it with up to 50 sources, and all those 50 sources now become searchable by me. I can then choose to pull up a file, like a PDF file that's on my computer. It'll search my drive. I can choose a doc or some slides. I can put a link to a website. I can put a link to a YouTube video, or I can just paste in some text here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and click on Google Slides here. I'm going to pull a Google slide deck from my drive, and I'm going to put that into NotebookLM. So what I'm going to choose here, we're going to use this document here, which is an artificial intelligence slide deck that I've used in the past. And it's going to see my source here, and I can add more sources, up to 50 sources, any type of source that's in my drive. I'm able to do it. And here I can now title it and call this AI presentation. And now what it allows me to do is to ask questions of this file here. So right here in the chat, like I said, so start typing. I can say, let's see, what are some AI tools recommended by the presentation? And then it's going to search through that source there, and it's going to then answer my question here. Then it'll also put some down here. It's going to add some actual suggested questions here. And if I were to click over here where it says notes, and they have some pre-built prompts here. I said, you know what, I want to turn this into a study guide. And I click study guide. It's going to think for a second and create a study guide based off of the file that I provided with. In this case, it was this is a study guide that's based off of the slide deck that I provided it. So it could be a video, it could be a bunch of text, it could be a PDF, a Google Doc file, any of those things here. I'll go back to Studio. I can also do a briefing doc, which is like a very kind of a bulleted summary of what is in this source file here. And again, this is all free, 100% free. So if I were to click on here, then I can see what it says, the key themes and ideas. So it's looking through the text of my slide deck, and it's giving me this overview. Now, one of the cool part here is a deep dive conversation. So what this is going to do, it's going to turn this into a conversational podcast. It almost sounds too good to be true. Let me show you what it means here. You can click customize here to really focus what the conversation it will be. As of right now, it's still in beta, but it will only use 2 voices, one male, one female, and only in English. But new voices and languages in the future will be supported here. So if I click customize, I can say, make this a simple conversation explaining AI to teachers who do not understand it yet. I click generate. It's going to take a couple minutes there, and it's going to then create it will then create this podcast for me. So while we're waiting for this, I'll show you one that has already been created. Come back to the home page here, and if I were to click on this older one that I've done, let me load my previous my previous one. And this one was 5 minutes 41 seconds.
All right, so today we are going to do a deep dive.
Oh, right? They were so innovative.
So wait, if they were so advanced in everything,
Yeah.
what happened? How come they're not around anymore?
Well, that's where things get a little messy.
Okay.
You see, in 1519...
Yeah, I'm not going to make you listen to the whole thing here, but that's a very natural sounding conversation where the voices are talking about your source here. This is one that I've done before. Let's go ahead and go back, and we'll go to my AI presentation, and it's still waiting to create there. But if I wanted to, I could also add more sources. So click add source, and then this menu pops up again, and I could add maybe a YouTube video that is, or a website that is aligned to this. And I could do up to 50 sources. It shows you how many you've done here. Each notebook can have up to 50 sources here. So 1 to 50, and it could be any combination of these different file types. And again, you'll have right here. This is like your main chat. This is shows you the sources, and the studio here allows you to create the audio overview, and you can do some of the other ones here. So we can also do frequently asked questions, the FAQs. That's what this one looks like. You may find that useful when you put in some of your curriculum. And then we could also do the timeline. So it scans it and then turns it into a timeline. So it gives you a timeline of certain events based off of the information that I provided it. So one of the things you also want to bring your attention to is share. So you can share this like you can for anything in Google. The one thing it works right now, and they must be within your school district's domain for it to work. You can't share it with somebody who's outside. So if you were to try to share, a notebook with me, I wouldn't be able to access it. They have to be someone who has a similar email address as you for that to work. And then we also have here our settings, which gives you a few other things here too that you can mess around with here while we're waiting. So that in a nutshell is NotebookLM.